All right, good morning, everyone. I'm not on a camera this morning. I look like crap, feel like crap, but I promise I'd get this done. So my brother-in-law got a hold of me, and this works at a prime opportune period, and this is what I was trying to do this last week and just been so swamped with everything else. So my brother-in-law wants an outdoor pizza oven. And he's a pretty cool thing. I have a website that I use for family and friends. You guys may want to think about this and get yourself some support and investment from family and friends. Is I have a website dedicated to family and friends that say, hey, I'm looking for these type of a product. Can you give me a selection, your best choices? They know I'm a marketer. They know I do affiliate marketing. And they know that buying from me, although they're not technically buying from me, I get income from that. And so I will go out and I write reviews. I find the best products that I can for them. They're my family. They're my friends. So I invest far more into it because of that. So I started doing a simple query. What are 3 best outdoor pizza ovens for 2023? That was my original search query, and so I get the general stuff, and I ran through here and get past the sponsored, and everyone kind of generally mentions the same couple of companies and products. Cool. Perfect. Lots of data to pull from. AI doesn't have to guess too much. So let's go to the next step. NeuronWriter. Since that's what we're trying to build some stuff together with ZimmWriter, or use them together, or edit them together. So earlier, you can see here in the background, I did best outdoor stone pizza oven. He was interested in specifically a stone pizza oven, and that's cool. So I ran a test article. It actually produced a really nice outline. It did some really good sample. And the quality of it actually turned out, and I did that with just a NeuronWriter. I was going to see how this would turn out on its own if that was the query within it. And so we'll see. Let's see what it can do. I think it's because I have this. There we go. I'm blind, so I have this zoomed in sometimes, so I'll try and make it easier for you all. Trying different things because I think they're already doing some updates. I logged in this morning, and I always like to see where things query from them. You see that I use SERP API all the time to get clean search results, but I'm also kind of curious. I don't know who they're processing through or who they're going through to do their scrapes or analysis. But I always want to see, so I ran like a ZimmWriter review here this morning and over there, and I like to see the results. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're a little bit different, but it does give me a clear indication that they're not using something like SERP API to get regionless results. So they may be getting the results from specific regions. I don't really know. Just pure speculation at this point. So, Food Network, blah, blah, blah. Huge corporations, Mediavine, New York Times, The Spruce, of course. That's pretty. Tom's Guide, Home and Gardens. This would be a darn near very hard article to break into just on the broad spectrum if you're trying to apply something. But this is kind of cool because you can make this quite regional very easily, and maybe I'll go into another video about that later. Most people, when they create an affiliate site, just market it broadly open.com. There you go. But there are ways to focus your pages regionally. So if I want to target a specific market, and maybe I'll do a video at some point on how to do that type of research. Let me take a pause from this and mention something. So if you go over to the website right now, and this is part of that conversation, and the reason I mention this is there's trying to do some of this stuff without paid tools for getting some of the data from Ahrefs or any of the big names. It doesn't really matter. It's hard to find those terms and things you're looking for that you probably have a better chance at, those low-hanging fruits. So I don't know what's up with this theme. I'm having Matt look at it today. I mean, not Matt, but Sean. So here in the course site, in the blog, I put some free tools about research, about doing keyword research specifically. These are free articles, free courses up here above. When you come down below, you'll actually find there's actually free tools. This gentleman's site's actually pretty good from my understanding. I haven't taken it. So here we begin some of the free tools, whether it's Google AdWords Keyword Planner, their Google Trends, any of these. So I did try to give links, free places you could do some research, and of course, down at the bottom, my free downloadable Windows application tool. I put all the way here at the bottom, the Ultimate Keyword Hunter. I use it religiously. It gives me opportunities to look at things that other people don't have. And I will use that in this video to show as well. Maybe. Yeah, I should. So check this out. Share it. Do whatever. Of course, we have my little piece down here about trying to get people in. Maybe this will rank. Maybe it won't. But I'm hoping most people just get good resources from it. Realistically, you know, we get a lot of people in the groups that either just starting out or just don't have all the financial, that paywall. SEO almost has a paywall to have success. Like, you've got to pay a lot of money out to do really good, proper research. So hopefully that will help people get around that paywall for a little while. And then when you start seeing some success and revenue, then you can start getting into those paid tools. So, okay. So we're going to just let it default. I'm not going to go through this and try and find blogs and things I'm going to try and outbeat because it's not realistic. I'm just trying to create a page specifically for my brother-in-law so he can buy an item. While this is doing that, please remember, like, share, subscribe, make some comments down below. Let me know what you want to see next. Just remember, there is an update coming to NewuronWriter coming up here in another week. I'll do another video on it then. There's new features, interface changes, but this is kind of what we have going on for right now. There's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can try and build an outline through here. You can use some of their you can go through. You can see what the competitor's doing, add what you want. Let's see, what else can you cook? Those are cool, but that's not what we're really looking for. Of course, that one's good to have. Try to write the terms. You see. That makes it good. There we go. That's actually a pretty good one. You can go through here and build up your own outlines. They're getting smarter on creating the information for their little backgrounds, where they get the information from and stuff like that. You can, up here at the top, once you develop an outline that you personally, oh, sorry, you also have these questions over here. They're from people also asked. There's other sources in here. Here we go. So you can bring these questions in. You can answer them. Bring those in. Those are questions you want to ask in your FAQ. Maybe you want to convert it to a heading. Or maybe you just want to save it for later so you can use it in your content somewhere and just address it somewhere in the middle. There's all sorts of ways you can do that. You can copy directly to the editor, then you can do what you want to do. NeuronWriter has a way that you can do your auto-generate feature, which is pretty cool. It will use whatever API you have access to. You can, if you've got more codes installed, you can use Turbo, DaVinci, even GPT-4. Okay. So it gives you an opportunity to build your outlines manually, and that's great and fine and cool. Something else interesting here. I'm going to delete all this because I'm going to show another way to do this. We still have to have our title in here. That way it knows what we're talking about. Let's see how it looks. Best pizza ovens? No. Let's see. Best outdoors, what I'm doing. So that's where we're going. Don't really care about the meta description at this point. It really isn't that important. I'm going to drop that in there just so we get some of those little points in there to help clean this up later. Okay. They do have some writing features. It can create clusters and create outlines for you. Depending on if you have extra codes, you have access to this section here. And this is actually pretty cool. Let's go through and show you some options. I can run this more than once, use some points. I don't really care. I would love you guys to see what this can do. And then we'll move some data, we'll move some terms once we like the outline it has, whether you create it manually or use the AI to do it. There's all sorts of options. I like the way that I use NeuronWriter is I use it for later in my content creation process. I literally use it for the FAQ down here, this section here on the bottom right. That's generally what I use this for. I use it for some NLP terms that I may not get from somewhere else or that I don't see. So we can do the one click and it does okay. Produces well. We can try the advanced outline and see what it does. So let's go through each one and see what it does before we jump into pull the data out of here and move over to ZimmWriter. So it's got our article here. That's what we set back here in the meta, so it knows what we're talking about. You can see their specific keywords and terms. Notice they have brand stuff in here. Where is it? Here's the Uni, another model, another company, another model. So they pull in that data, giving you some things for it to kind of try to follow, and it does pretty good. Let's see this one. But every once in a while I'll throw something in here that I don't really like. I'm like, huh. But that's AI. Let's see. Nothing stands out as bad. Nor there. So, because I think I have all the stacked codes you can have, I have this extra setting down here. And this is where you can use your other points, everything else. I do like, I said that wrong. I do like that I have this option for creativity. I find I prefer when doing more content like this, where I want it to be more concise and factual and not stream too far out. I always put this to low. I know it makes recommendations to do this. I know they're trying to save their money and all that good stuff. But if you're really trying to do this, At least for the outline, this does pretty good. Even with the one-click article, but it makes them short. GPT-4 is notorious for that. It wants to get the job done quick as possible. So I'll use DaVinci on this, and we'll see what kind of input it puts out. You do have the different personality types and tone of voice that you're trying to have, so that's cool if you're into that. I'm just keeping it neutral. It's not really all that important because I don't really technically have a focus audience for this. The focus audience is someone that is intentionally going here at my request. So, or I mean, the page is being made for them at their request. So this is a whole different circumstance as far as I'm not trying to figure out who this is targeted for, but we'll cover that, especially in the new version. I'm not doing training videos specifically on using this specific tool and trying to promote their tool as much as I love their tools, and I am an affiliate. I'm more just trying to help you guys figure out what you can do. If you're curious, you can see the scoring here as far as what they consider, and you can see how they do this. So do you remember where I talk about the salience of terms, where it's so important to have those in your headers and in very specific places? So notice it's breaking up my whole search. It's in the meta, it's in the description, H1, it's 2023 is not in the H2 somewhere, so I'm losing some points from that. It's a easy indicator, an easy way to understand how these terms are applied. Trying to get everything to a perfect 100% is generally kind of your goal, getting it pretty close as much as possible. Your headers, you definitely, your headers, your titles, your descriptions, you want those on par. Now, in this section here, I'm sorry, in your terms, you definitely want them. I don't try and get them to 100% like I do up here in your headers, but I definitely always make sure this is 75-ish or above. In text, this takes a little more work manually, but I do try and get that up to at least 50%. Again, created a very short article. It's probably a setting that I have somewhere. Might have done that earlier. Anyhow, so that's what you get with the one click. Long form, it does okay. Oh, happens more often as I use the better models. So let's empty this all out and have it write it again. I'll show you. So we'll see this will go back to 0 here in a second. And we'll scroll back down here. We're going to put this back to turbo and say write. Everybody's prompt engineering is different. And that's why even with the same prompt engineering, the results will be different every single time. Not too bad. Oh, that's cool. They put the tops right at the top. What's our word count? Again, short word count. I also don't have an FAQ or anything like that, so. Sorry, just looking at some of the terms and seeing. That's I'm going to call it 12, so this is 16 on a Caro. Okay. Huh. So at least they're mentioning both. Gas-powered. Wood pellets. Some surprises. No. Wood burnt. Oh, there's wood fire. Sorry, I'm getting way into it. I apologize. A habit sometimes, because the part of my brain takes over that wants to do the whole SEO aspects of everything. Okay, so let's erase this again. Go back to AI writing. Back to one click. Turbo. Let's see what it comes up with, and generally these are types of things I'll kind of like. What's the best? Gas powered, portable. So that's listing 4. Is that what I see? So we got the Conda 12, the Rock Box, the Karu 16. Okay. Store, right fit, pizza size. Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Okay, so do. Let's open up ZimmWriter. I'm not going to be doing a custom outline for this or anything, but I will cover that at another point on how I do that. Check for an update. No update necessary. Let's see here. Now, actually, show you some things that we can do. Different options here. So we got our outline, got our terms, got our outline, right? So ZimmWriter has so many different options for you. You can try your best of luck here, see what happens. And I haven't spoken to Matt, so I will ask him later today. The Penny Arcade function understands when something is looking for a listicle and goes through a different process. I don't know if he added that into the one-click blog post wizard. So you can be brave. You can try that and see what kind of content you get. Again, I don't know if he's added that ability and those improvements to that piece there. Generally, when you're trying to unify some code, most your main functions are all tied together, so it would be used. But again, I do not know. I do not know. I will. Let me find my output folder here because I moved everything. I'm going to generate this article multiple times. There we go. I'm going to generate this article multiple times using the different tools, and we will look at them later. So after each one of these, I'll pause and come back. So for right now, where is it? The one click. There we go. I am going to begin this and pause the video, and I will be back in a few. Okay, that was pretty quick. As you can see, the output for number 1 is done. I'm just going to close this, let that do its thing. Now let's check out the next tool on the menu. We can do SEO writer. Problem is that is a lot of manual. Do we want to do that yet? Maybe we should wait and see for that later. Let's show off some of Matt's new amazing features, especially let's start with the bulk, the Penny Arcade, okay? Is that the one I wanted to do? No, I was doing the bulk. I apologize. The bulk is the next one on my list. Okay. So we don't need to have a custom outline. I'll do a specific video about that. Matt already has done. And I got to be honest, I even had to send Matt a couple questions like, hey, bro, does this outline look right? And he was like, no, you're overthinking it. I was like, oh, he gave me some more examples. I sent him back. He goes, just like that. I was like, oh, okay, it made a click. And it makes sense. And I'll go into that if you, but make sure you watch Matt's videos. I think he covers it well enough, but I will cover it as well and kind of show what I'm doing with it, because everyone learns differently. Maybe another perspective makes it click for you. So short, tiny, whatever. Something interesting I find, if you look at a lot of the top ranked sites, we understand Google puts that salience on that first sentence of a paragraph a lot, and so you'll see a lot of people do these 1 or 2 sentence long paragraphs and then do a new carriage return, do your next paragraph. It's a cool, legit way to get all your wonderful terms out there without competing for other terms, because that's the only terms that are available. AI is pretty smart. The auto keyword feature does pretty good. It's not perfect, but it does pretty damn good, and I appreciate Matt's hard work in doing all that. So 3 best outdoor pizza kitchen ovens. So I'm still going to put 5 here as a suggestion. We'll see what it does. Voice, I'm just going to do professional because I just like the way it comes out for doing listicles and stuff like that. No literary devices because it's professional. We'll deal with lists and tables. I add them in here in case I want to use them. I don't always do it, or I'll redo them manually. It's up to you. It really does take a lot of discernment when you're trying to market to a specific audience. I'm going to include that in here just because it makes it look more professional. My intent is not to rank. Let me remind you of that. And so I'm not going to go through and do all the fine editing details, trying to make it SEO optimized. But I am trying to make it so family and friends at least understand what's in the content. It's actually readable and enjoyable. We'll do some enable H3s for fun. I don't need a tease. We'll take a key takeaway. We'll do a prompt. Why not? Audience personality. Well, this particular person, definitely a ruler. He is someone who likes control. He's a boss. He's an independent business owner, entrepreneur. He's just everything about that. Very kind, humble man, very involved with his family, community, church, local teams, and sports for his children. Really good guy. Auto style, I don't really care. We'll put it there anyways. Automatic keywords, I don't really care about those. Paragraphs, active voice, I don't care about conclusions. So in this case, I'm not using custom outlines. I am not using a custom prompt, and I'm going to go into that. And it can be costly using custom prompts, especially when you go up into the upper models. Is it worth it? That's up to you to decide. But if you're really trying to do some cool stuff, the option is there. I'm not doing YouTube videos for this, but generally I appreciate that Matt allowed us to choose up to 3 videos, and quite often on my test sites and bulk sites that I'm doing, I will always choose 3. I have, not always, but I do now. But I do have section that I put just no videos. I have another section that I've done just 1 video, another section with 2 videos, another section with 3 videos. Again, those test sites, I always keep them segmented as possible. I'm OCD, trying to see how each type affects or whatever. I don't need an FAQ. Best of 2. I don't really care, but I do it anyways. I wish OpenAI would give some information on that. They haven't done that yet. So I'm going to start this bulk writer, and let's find that output folder again. make a new temporary folder here, and we'll call this